95.1 Nigeria Info.
Alrighty, I was just telling Halima, the intern with me, if you're looking into the studio, that I would have to sustain the tempo of the song that she just played. I mean, Baby Nayoka by Flavor is what she started the segment with, the hard fact segment of our radio show. So I would have to make it a bit more upbeat all through the show. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. She does agree with that. Abuja, thank you so much for staying with your passionate, trustworthy, and conversational radio, 95.1 Nigeria Info. And nobody says, thank God it's Monday, but I totally love Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And so, yeah, with my food chest, I say, thank God it's Monday. Welcome to the Monday edition of the show, Hard Facts, that is. I'm sure you've been having a great time from the morning crossfire, what's happening at Abuja, the Sunnyside show, and now yours truly, Kimberly Wachuku, the Oracle, the Digital Oracle, OTF, the Fellow, Ochanya One, Madam Speaker, is reporting for duty. And I've got the very delectable Halima with me. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, guys.
You're rocking those glasses. and what is it with the both of us wearing white tees?
Looks like we planned it.
I know, right? White shirt. So I think it's going to be, dazzling when you view the studio. I mean, the white reflecting on all of that. But it's all good. It's all good. I hope you had a well-rested weekend.
I did.
That's good to know. It's very important. I mean, Swat was talking about how she had a lazy weekend, just tucked herself in and relaxed all through. Those kind of weekends are special. But I had quite a bit of an activity the weekend. There was event, there was hangout, there was this and that. It was sweet nonetheless. So no complaints whatsoever. And there's so much to talk about, so much to look at. Sadly, though, my guest cannot join us on the show. We're meant to have Mr. Emmanuel Ozuemena last minute. Something very important came up and we had to reschedule. So sometime perhaps during the week we'd have him on the roundtable. So he sends his sincere apology for just standing us up last minute. But hey, I've got you. You know how this song says, I've got you, babe. So I trust that you're going to help us with your very incisive comment, contribution, and perspective on the stories we're looking at today. Now, the last thing any Nigerian wants to hear is another threat or a new dimension to the threat we're dealing with in the country, and that's the area of insecurity. We've gone emotionally, physically, financially, and all the different alleys you can think about with Boko Haram and managed to decimate Boko Haram to extent. And then we had all kinds springing up with the bandits, kidnapping for ransom, and terrorism that's taking all kinds of dimension that we're still trying to contain. And then when you hear that there's a new group sprouting somewhere, terrorizing another region of the country, in the northwestern part of the country, Sokoto State, it's enough for your heart to start to skip extra. It's like, what is this again? Because for some weeks now, we've been having some bit of respite and relief and breath of fresh air, like, our headlines are not dominated by security, doom and gloom headlines and stories about, villages sacked, people killed, numbers of people abducted. We're not saying it's not been happening. It's been happening. However, it's not been on large scale enough for Nigerians to be, overwhelmed by it. And so with this new threat and this new group identified as Lukawara, is that what they're called now? It's enough for you to hold up. Okay, are they new? Do they have a new strategy? What's their ideological stand? What do they represent? What do they want? The kidnappers for ransom is about money. Banditry is about terror and encroaching into space. Boko Haram was about terror and religious ideology. What is Lukawara about? I know, right? Because sometimes you know what they are about, you perhaps would know how to tackle it. But like every other terrorist group in Nigeria, it's just been very difficult to accept whatever it is they represent. And we just want them quashed and neutralized almost immediately. So, the acting chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Lufemi Oluyede, visited the Division 8 or the A Division of the Nigerian Army in Sokoto on Sunday as part of effort to combat a new terror group called Lukawara. Lukawara. What does it even mean? Oluyukayede ordered the troops to crush the new terror group, which was reportedly inducing youth in the state into its fold. And I hear plenty of money is what they're using to induce young people, like, oh, don't worry, come and join us, we have money and all of that. And we know that they are highly impressionable young people. They're highly poor people. There are people who are easily swayed by ideological stance and just waiting for whoever is going to offer them something enough to attract them. We have plenty pool of them. So this should be a major concern to the government. The defense headquarters had last week identified this new terror group as operating in Kebbi and Sokoto states. The director of defense media operation, Major General Edward Buba, said the terror group is affiliated with jihadi faction in Mali and Niger Republic, raising security concerns in the northwestern region of the country. He said, and I quote, "The emergence of the group is linked to political instability in Mali and Niger, which has fueled the spread of extremist elements into Nigeria." He explained that this group is a direct fallout of the political instability in these neighboring countries. And speaking with newsmen in the Masalachi community in the Tangaza local government area, Olukede called on the residents of the community to always give accurate and timely information to the troops to help them in the fight against insecurity. And speaking further, he says he's here to see the soldiers assess their state of readiness, charge them to continue to do what they've been doing best to secure the country in general, and visited, the traditional rulers and other agencies that are working in partnership to see how they can best neutralize this group before they get a stronghold, because it feels like they're already gaining traction. Yeah. And one isn't sure what dimension they're going to take, if it's going to be about money, but it feels that they already have plenty of it, enough to induce people. Or perhaps that's just the opening strategy for them. And at this point, you start to wonder, how is it that Nigeria has become such a very fertile ground for terrorist group, and people infiltrating our walls, coming into Nigerians and having Nigeria as their ground zero for all their nefarious activity? How did we allow ourselves get so vulnerable, so open to the fact that people can come in? But I know that we live in a global village, they will say, and that anything happening around you, the height of the Niger coup, we're saying, no, if you invade Niger when we're trying to send troops, boots on ground, and anything goes sideways there, we're going to feel the brunt because we share walls with them, borders, I mean. And any threat they are grappling with will feel the effect. So we understand the link. We also know that former President Buhari always reminded us that, arms were coming in from the Maghreb, Niger Republic, for example, Libya, for example, when Gaddafi was neutralized. We had arms come from there. We had elements trek through that route coming into the country. And so it feels like both regionally, continentally, and even globally, that a threat and a group can rise and you can have affiliation with them, either physically being on ground or by way of sympathy or aligning your ideology, get support from them. So here we go again. A new group operating in Sokoto, in Kebbi. Are they altogether new or are they rebranded? Well, we don't have all of that detail, but one thing we know for sure is a threat that Nigeria must deal with immediately.
They must.
Yeah.
They must.
Indeed. So how best do we go about this? If young people already been induced to join their ranks, what can we do to ensure that they do not become the next big menace to society? I would love to get your 2 cents on that as you call 0700 951 0000, or you call 0809 5974 869, or you call 0809 9930 137. We have other stories, but if you want to touch on this, feel free to call us up. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, the Oracle.
You are welcome.
My name is Salasi. I greet your colleague that is with you all there.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir.
I'm good. Thank you. The Oracle, I want to talk about this new terrorist group that emanates from Sokoto. Do you know that is how Boko Haram started? Boko Haram started with condemning the Western things, Western education. The meaning of Boko Haram in Hausa is Western education is forbidden. Now we have new group in Sokoto claiming that they have money in order to entice the populace, the villagers. Government shouldn't allow them to spray, because by the time we are still battling with Boko Haram, bandit, killer herdsmen, and so on and so. We have a lot of groups that the government has been battling with. Now another new group are raising their ugly head. They shouldn't let them raise. They should go after them. They should crush them. As the chief of army staff, the chief of army staff visited that Sokoto. We want to see the action from our gallant men. These are the things we have been losing our men every day, both the civilian and the army and the policemen and all these people due to these people. And the bad thing, you don't want to know how to clarify it. How the past administration brought something that repented bandits, said they forgive me, they bring them to society, and at the end these people will still go back and laying this carnage on Nigeria. This one shouldn't have room of repentance though. They should go after them, they should crush them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So Selassie is saying crush them, give them no breathing space at all. Hello?
The Oracle.
You're welcome.
OTF.
You're welcome.
OTF. Welcome, my sister. This is Engineer Ola.
Welcome, Engineer Ola.
And I greet your colleague also in the studio.
Welcome, sir.
Oracle.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes when we are talking about all these things, I want to laugh, but it's not funny. Because it look as if it's funny, it's not funny. But I want to laugh. Because why? You were in this country of the Oracle. When they tell you that they were repented bandits, repented Boko Haram.
Mm.
So one thing is clear. Whether we are saying it or not, one thing is clear. But one day, just like what my brother normally say, one day monkey go market, go return. One day, you see the evil that you created. Burna Boy sing about it one day. One of this is music I wish I can remember. The evil that you created, one day it will consume you. You created it so that, it will be, this and that. But one day it will consume you.
Mm.
Sister Kim, of recent, they pack children. Abi, in the name of saying they are committing treason and all of that. Those children, do you want to tell me that do you even need to advertise for those children for them to even come in? You don't need to do much for you to invite them. That is the kind of society that we have created. Sister Kim, well done work, my sister. See, Nigeria matter, just like one of our brothers talk, now cruise.
Mm.
So, I got see us through.
Amen. Thank you very much. Hello? Anybody home?
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Yes, Sister King, good afternoon.
You're welcome to the show, sir.
This is Steve.
We're listening.
Just like we also deliberated on this issue last week, I think the best way is to go after them now. And following what the last caller just said, this so-called repentant Boko Haram and bandits, where are they? That they have rehabilitated and said that they are released into the society. Mm. Are they being monitored whether they are still the same people that are forming all these things? See, I don't know why in Nigeria, even though we are not, I'm not saying and it's not about sentiment, but have there been a day that they say these are repented IPOB members, that they release them? Now there are so many repented Boko Haram and bandits, and these people are being rehabilitated, taking our tax money and give to people that made our state and local government, our home, inhabitable. And they are still the same people who are forming all these things, because I believe these people can't come from the sky. Again, Nigerian government should be very watchful of this northern state that have borders with other countries that are already soiled with terrorism, and mind the way people come in, because outside language is very vast. Anybody can speak it and come in and claim is either from Sokoto or this, and you can't trace them to any house that say this is the father's house. It's not like that in Igbo land. It's not like that. You can trace anybody to a family, but not in the northern state, because they easily welcome people from the Niger and all that.
Well, we can't make a blanket statement and say you can't trace people, you can trace them in one part and others. Yes, we have a lot of people who are coming in because of similarity of culture and language, perhaps. You find, more people coming, but if you're not a member of the family, you're not there.
You know why I said so, man? You know why I said that?
Okay,
there are Namajuris.
Okay, we need to run for a break, though.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
All right, quite a short one. Started off with a story around the new terror group identified in Sokoto and Kebbi State. And the military apparently is not taking this one lying down. They're saying, hey, we need to do something about it. And a lot of people are lending their voice to say, crush them, neutralize them, believing that that's the best, most effective strategy, and not giving them any breathing room to, to build, strongholds in this particular region. But, you will start to look at it. I mean, how we handled Boko Haram and all of the other insurgency that we've had, to a certain extent, it's always been that military approach that has been employed from the jump. And you would say, well, decades after it's happened, even with the military efforts, some of them have, still pretty much a nuisance in Nigeria. So how effective would you say, military approach has been? And is there possibly any other approach beyond the military approach at this point in time? So for everyone who's calling us saying crush them, so you're advocating for more military approach, intensity to it, and not just nothing else. No other option comes to mind at this point in time. But let's get your 2 cents on this, really, and the best way to deal with this new terror group identified in Sokoto and Kebbi State and already killing and displacing people in this particular region. So while we're looking at that, let's throw in another story, and which is something that's been talked about earlier on, but we'll still bring it for those who didn't get the opportunity on the Sunnyside show to share their thoughts. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to stop the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Yusuf Wike, and Nigeria's 36 governors from usurping the authority and responsibility of the National Judicial Council and heads of court through the giving of cars and houses to judges. According to Serap, this action likely indicates that the judiciary is becoming submissive to the executive arm of government. The statement is contained in a letter dated the 9th of November 2024, signed and released by Serap's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadari, a copy which was made available. Serap has urged the President to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, to challenge in court the constitutionality and legality of the practice of members of the executive giving cars and houses to judges in Abuja and across the state. The organization asks the President to improve the working condition and welfare of the nation's judiciary through existing constitutional arrangement and mechanism, as his government is constitutionally mandated to safeguard the rule of law. So, that's the argument. We're well aware that there's some states that have been known to be generous to judges in the state and say, okay, we're handing you SUV vehicles, we're building houses for you. And the federal capital is one of the latest where the FCT minister apparently has extended that generous olive branch to the judiciary. He did that in Rivers State. We saw that. And he's bringing it apparently to Abuja. But Serap is not buying it and seem to think, what exactly is going on? Aren't you, in a way, buying the loyalty of the judiciary by this? That's if you think the judiciary is that gullible to be bought that easily with just a few luxurious vehicles and houses and stuff. And he also tells the faith people have in the judiciary to believe that they're so, I'm not going to use the words, but you know what I mean, enough to just get them to be on your side with just a house and a bit more, a vehicle and a comfortable house to live in. It's something that some Nigerians also have raised their concern. Quite a number of people believe our judges should be comfortable. They should be paid well. They should live in some bit of comfort. But it shouldn't be one that feels like it was, induced in any way to like, oh, we're giving you this. So when the time comes, you rub my back, I rub yours. And you call in a favor because you've done the favor ahead of time. And so Serap is raising his brow and saying, no, it needs to stop. I feel like things and standards and ethics are being compromised by this. But do you quite agree that we can buy our judiciary, our judges, with just, a simple kind of house? Don't they deserve to have like the comfort that will come with the prestigious office that they hold? Or you think, saying that the Constitution has spelled out how it works, give them the right allocation and they, through the NJC or whatever, provide what is needed for the judges and, make them comfortable. I don't mind a house if it's handed to me and a car, but what does it do to me and my job, particularly if a lot is hanging on the line through that? So it's something to think about. And Serap has challenged this and is taking it to court and saying, Attorney General, not taking it to court, but, advocating for the Attorney General to look this one up and say, governors needs to stop this. And by extension, the FCT minister also need to put a plug on it and stop all of this generous handout. Let's not forget that the Emir of Kano has also asked the judiciary to clean up its reputation, that you are being pushed left, right, and center at this point in time. Mohammed Sanusi II, Emir of Kano, has expressed his sympathies to Nigerian judges for having to work in a dysfunctional society. Speaking on Saturday during an event organized by the Movement for Islamic Culture and Awareness, a non-profit Islamic faith-based organization, Sanusi says working in an environment like ours is not an easy task at all. And he talked about ethics, morality, and the law, and saying the negative remark being passed about Nigerian judges are perpetuated by just a few of them, and appeal to the legal expert to work towards bringing the number of bad judges to zero. Is that possible? We have bad judges everywhere, but to working at reducing the number, because if you ask an average Nigerian, the impression about the judiciary is poor, is bad compared to those who have confidence and faith in the judiciary. And through Serap's thinking that the more you hand them cars, the more you hand them houses, the more you buy their loyalty. And with all of this conflicting judgment from, different courts that we see every now and again, it's easy to add 1 + 1 and think perhaps that's why the number is not adding up. We're getting 11 all over the place. It's not good mathematics. Maybe, just maybe, this is what is responsible for it. But hey, you're welcome to share your take. You're a Nigerian. What do you think? Agree with Serap 100%? Or you think maybe we can trust the judges to live up to the responsibility and the dignity that comes with their job in spite of the comfort afforded them with this largesse they're receiving from governors and the minister? So 2 stories down. Let's get your take. 0700 951 0000. Hello.
Hello, one of Nigerian food.
You are welcome.
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon to you.
Jonathan is calling from Niger State.
All right, Jonathan.
Ambassador Salasi agreed to all the fellas. I think we know what they should crush them. You first of all crush the sponsor of Boko Haram and the rest of them, their grandfather and the upcoming one. You understand? I thought when you arrest them, they have prevented, now you free them. Now look at another group of people coming. How do you know they are not the same group that pretend that they are prevented? Understand? That's what we have been saying. I say, Arab have given us the list of people sponsoring all these people. Why not do the list and call them out? Understand? Every day we keep on facing one problem. I look at the solution in the table, but you don't want to do it. And now, some of our soldiers now, they are going to raise some of our soldiers, but they are buying cars, you are building houses for judges. Look at it. I think we should do the right thing. That's what I think.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, Kimberly. I'm calling from Gwagwalada.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Halima, for playing PBIO cover flavor.
You're welcome, sir.
There's never any joy movement with flavor.
Indeed.
Always on fire. It is privileged to protest, to demonstrate peacefully in Nigeria, for people to express their grievances. But it's not privileged for Lakurawa, a new terrorist group to emerge. It will bring Sokoto, Teddy, and for Agri. It's the wishes in Nigeria. They are the full soldier of politicians. Who arm Lakurawa? Who is arming the Lakurawa? Who is providing the logistics? Who bring them on board for political gain? So we should think twice. Our judiciary system, we cannot condemn the entire member of the judiciary, but it is rotten. They are corrupt. It's only God that will save the country. Where will the disease? Where will be the status of our check and balances if the judiciary is rotten? Where do you enshrine principle of separation of power? And who will check the executive abuses? Thank you. That is my thing.
Thank you very much, sir. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Godfrey.
Talk to us, sir.
A new terrorist group has emerged. And as usual, we'll talk about it. We'll lament over it. And we'll ignore it. Look, to me, the North knows what is happening. 2027 is getting close. The usual politics has started. So, to me, that is politics they want to play. Unfortunately, human lives are not valued in this country. So they can tread any life, no matter the number, just because they want to be in power. The North cannot claim not to know the source of those people. They are indigents. They have sponsors. They are just pretending not to know. And this is what has been destroying the country. Other regions have been contributing or making their effort to see the country will grow. But the North,
Sir, we will not allow that kind of statement.
Sorry,
it's not been.
Sorry.
No, you know that it's not even been fair.
I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, it is not fair. The way the country is wrong. Look at a whole governor accusing a former governor who is a minister of sponsoring terrorism. And this one is accusing the other. One must be right. Why should it be so? It is sad. It's annoying. Look at our economy going down. We are wasting our money to solve this problem, and they're not making effort just because they want to remain in power. I feel very sad, really. But truly, the North, you know what is happening. Most of them, if you check the army chiefs, the NIA, and so on, they are still the ones in power. Is it that they can use that their position to trace those who are behind this? I don't believe so. So they should sit down and understand that they are destroying their region. That's all. They are destroying it. They should put in every effort to get to the roots, not to get to those foot soldiers, those boys. No. Get to the roots, those who are sponsoring it. It is among them themselves, their leaders. They should find a way to tackle it, accuse themselves, punish themselves.
All right.
That's the only way we can solve this. If not, you will see where this thing will lead.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, then. Let's look at some comments. Halima, are you ready?
Before this comment, I actually want to say something.
Go ahead.
About the judge giving them gifts. How sure are we Nigerians that it's a bribe? It could actually be like a gift.
It's actually
for
a gift.
hard work but then why is most people concluding that they won't do their best anymore? And I don't know.
You know what? Perhaps I'll give you an assignment. You do a vox pop on the street, and you take a midget and ask them, why are you people concluding that this is an inducement on the part?
I just want us to look at both sides, and that's
No,
just
maybe when you ask Nigerians one-on-one on the street, you get their response. You will know why. So you're going to do undercover report of why this is happening. You don't want to take up that challenge.
No, I'll pass on that.
Indeed.
Okay, this person said, "Good afternoon, Kim and Alima. Good afternoon to you too. But what's it that this who choose to be terrorism people stand to gain?" Okay.
Who choose to be terrorists? I want to believe.
Yeah.
Grammatical expression is wrong. All
I
right.
want to call on government to put an end to this Oludade Abiodun. Okay. Good afternoon, Kim. The ideology that these people preach apparently is an extension and full enforcement of Sharia law. A few months ago, it was reported that Kano State had prohibited men and women from boarding the same keke. Again, in the same Kano, we learned that men are not allowed to MC any social events of female organizers anymore. This is similar to Afghanistan, where the Taliban law disallows ladies from looking at men they are not related to. If the North are ready to fight the terrorism, they should stop waiting for the federal government and make and enforce stiffer anti-terrorism law, just like they made Sharia law. Kim and Co. That gift given to our judges might stand for different meaning, but we are hoping for the best. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Once a Southerner is president, new terrorist group always emerge in the North. Religious indoctrination and fanaticism are the main causes. Okay. Kim, I greet you. These people you are talking about are not a new group from what is in the public knowledge. They have been there since 2018, as disclosed by the Sokoto state government official, but they were not taken seriously because initially they were not disturbing the people. But when they started imposing tax on cattle and giving out rules and punishing people, that's when the people raised alarm. The village head reportedly claimed the group helped them to chase away bandits and cattle rustlers. It is reported that the security agencies were aware of their existence, including the former governor, Tambulwan. It is now that they have spread to Kebbi that everyone became alarmed, including the military. So it is wrong to call them a new terror group. You can do your own.
Well, they are new because they are terrorizing now. They were not a terror before, were they?
Yeah.
It could easily be an association of people, and there's no law in Nigeria that forbids union, association, and gathering of people who identify with certain beliefs and all of that. But the minute they start to cross boundaries and they start to inflict pain, terrorize, impose their ideology, and forcefully evict or hold people, demand something of people, they have become a terrorist group.
Chris from Akpo Resettlement says, "This is why I don't like asking questions in class. Alima asks more questions. Kim, don't use them." Yeah, I've given up on the assignment.
This assignment that you
I've given up.
This assignment that you must turn in. You will go on. You're a mass comm student.
Honestly, I agree with
you. You will do a vox pop on the street, look Nigerians in the eye, and say, "I, Alima, asked a question on radio, and I did not get any acceptable response from Kimberly." So I want to find out from you. What do you think that handing out cars and houses to judges means?
I'll pass on that.
You never see anything. Finish reading the message.
Hello, Kim. Trust you good. Please, there is a musical interface in the background. It's off and on. Okay.
It's the bed for the show. If it's too loud, let us know.
Lakurawa are Arab Fulanis, not Nigerians. Okay. Investigative journalism. Mina Sarah. Good afternoon, Kim. Alongside your colleague in the studio, Amado Tasha. Mohammed Musa from Garki. We have been deploying military resources in the last 12 years, and 12 years later, we are still talking about crushing. What about if you try deploying intellectual resources? Military approach has not worked, or can't we see? Where are we going, Nigeria? Nigerians, our leaders are highly promoting corruption every day. Every Nigerian has a way contribution of their quota to the nation. Why one-sided? People are starving, seriously. Why some are enjoyable? God is not happy with our so-called leaders at all. God be with Nigeria. Emo. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Should I continue or remove?
I'll take a few more.
Okay. Why are they giving gifts to judges? Why wouldn't they share the gift to people that needs it?
But they need it now. Have you seen some of the judges?
Kim, good day. What Wike and the executive are doing should be tagged and open strategy bribery to the judiciary. These group politicians should never be left to go unpunished whenever they left. They have technically and tactically destroyed the entire facet of our country in order to remain in power and continue to flex our resources. God will not forgive the wicked and the unjust. Solo and Alima, when I said the internet is a very big business enterprise where the mighty are smiling to the bank at the detriment, don't forget that Governor of Zamfara State said that Matawale knows all about the insecurity in their region, and yet they turn blind eyes to it and deaf ears to it. Kim, remember that no one stops where he dey chop, and it is what it is. Obedient man, Emeka from NNPC Torah.
All right, take one more there so that I'll read what's on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay. Ambassador Afam said, Kim and Alima, the gift to judges is just family support and stomach infrastructure.
All right, on Facebook, Scott Ken says, please remove the headset. You're having trouble hearing us. Oh dear. Sorry about that. And Don B. Adigo says, our government cause insecurity for themselves. How can a government keep dismissing military men that they train to fight crime? More coming. But what if the military men have gone against what, their job describes? What if they have no discipline? What if they're also a problem within the ranks? You keep them? Lorena Andrade says, okay, headphone, everybody complain about it. Sorry, I only just saw it, so I want to believe some people are tuned off Facebook because of the feedback. Sorry about that. Arrow David, I see you. Samuel Ayuba says, and Halima, the first time I'm seeing you. Mr. Sam, well, if you always join us when we stream live, like we do every time we're on the Roundtable, you would get to see us. So do that more often.
The poor breed. I'm not, and
oh, well, let's get to the phone line. Let's take two more and then we'll bring in the third story. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Kim and Halima. Good afternoon. This is Jay from Ghana.
Welcome, Jay.
Yeah, so the Lakurawa group, many of them apparently came in from the Chad region, from Benin, from Niger, from Mali, that's Axis. And, they've always been there. But because we had a joint border patrol with those countries, they kept them, they were keeping them in check. I mean, they were going after them. Now, what happened was when when we had issues with Niger, when this diplomatic role we had recently, the joint border patrol are no longer looking after Nigeria's interests in that axis. So they came in freely. They came in their numbers to Sokoto and they started recruiting people. In fact, according to one report I read, they said they are luring them in with 1 million naira per person. And their mission is to come and teach a purer version of Islam. I have not heard anything about that. So I think that the government and security forces should be on this matter and and do what they need to do. I mean, it's not a time to be asking questions whether they should or they should not, and it's not a time to be doing a kinetic and non-kinetic discussion. What they should do is to do what they need to do. Do you understand? We don't want them being arrested and then they are repentant. Just do what needs to be done, and so that the people who, you can't keep coming into countries and encroaching and Sokoto State is sitting down there and saying terrorists. How can people sit down and say terrorists are going to protect you? It doesn't make sense. And there seems to be some kind of laxity and complicity on behalf of the, from the part of the security agencies. I don't know. That's on that part. Then the judges are being compromised, obviously. I mean, they're not doing it softly and softly. I'm a professional accountant by uni, and I know that same with judges, you're not supposed to be friendly with everybody. You're not supposed to be going around these parties and being seen like that. In fact, it's part of the professional hazard. When you see a friendly accountant smiling with everybody, there's something going on already. You are not supposed, you're part of the profession. You are supposed to be at a distance. You understand? So when we see judges, even the CJN attending Shanwolu's party, I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, life is lived on the law of reciprocity. When I do something for you, in your mind, you will say, okay, I owe this person one. You understand? So at the end of the day, when I now come for you and say, okay, you have to do this for me, there will be little resistance, even if it now compromises your professional judgment. So in the last few years, what we've had in our courts are judgments based on technicalities, no justice. We need to get back to the point where we are getting judgment and justice. God will help us. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, you're welcome.
Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
This is Stephen Doroso from Kubwa.
Talk to us, sir.
Yeah, so I stand to be corrected, but this is my take. Anytime our judges or judiciaries stop receiving stipends or things like this, we are close to getting it right. This is the reason. They are not there because of the masses. That is my belief. They are not there because of the masses. If they are there because of the masses, somebody who you know is giving you something that actually you can critically look at it is not right. And if it's right, it's humongous, it's much. It's beyond your 6 months salary. And somebody is just giving it to you, dash. You should be able to look at it now, Abba. Or God, this one way they give me, I go take pay back. What is the rationale behind it? Is there anything I have to do for you in return? All these are what they know, but because they are there for their selfish reason, they are there to make sure that before they leave their office, they are well to do. So anything that comes their way, they take it. And when the person that gave you request for a favor, you can't turn him down. So they know what they are doing, and this is the reason justice are not being served to the masses and to anybody. I believe if they know what they do, if they want to do things right, they will refuse such offer, or things will be put in writings. This is the agreement. This is what you give to us. It's not conditional. So that whenever you come with any request, if we refuse to grant it, then you hold us not accountable. I think that should be the best way to go.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Chinedu.
We're listening, Chinedu.
Talking about the judges and the gifts from state governors and the FCC minister. It is the Mr. President who started it. But I want in future, whatever is due to a judge in this country should be on the paper. Once you become a judge, you are entitled to a residence, you are entitled to a car, and their car should be changed after so and so years, so that it will be coming to them as a gift. If you remember, when Mr. President took over and he said subsidy is gone, and people were asking for palliative, he had out some money, give some to the state governors, give to the National Assembly, and give to the judiciary. That is where it started. And we know how they paid back during the all the litigations that came after the election. So, like I said earlier, whatever is due to a judge or any public servant should be put on the paper, so that these politicians will not be using it as an engagement. I think that will be the way forward. And if it is not like this, whenever they get it, they will not be looking at it as if it is something out of the belief that they have to pay back.
All right.
Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Now, one of the ministers sacked had something to say about it. And apparently he's saying it's not about poor performance, not about any allegation of corruption, absolutely nothing but politics. That's why he was removed from office. And, reminded Nigerians that I'm a minister of state. So, I mean, if you have my principal who takes the critical bulk of the responsibility around what is being done there, why should I be the one asked from my job when I've been, delivering 100? The immediate former Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Gwarzo, revealed that his dismissal by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was physically motivated or politically motivated rather than due to any shortcoming in his ministerial performance. The former minister added that the president should have chosen the 2023 APC governorship candidate in Kano State, Nasiru Ganawa, as his replacement. This follows the appointment of Yusuf Atta as the new minister. In a State House release on the 23rd of October 2024, Tinubu dismissed Gwarzo alongside 4 other ministers. And in an interview with BBC House on Saturday, Gwarzo stated, I was surprised because I wasn't found guilty of any wrongdoing or poor performance, and I was Minister of State with the senior minister overseeing a large portion of the ministry's activity. Before the announcement, the president had informed me of this decision. He said Kano North was overloaded with political officers, hence the need to strike a balance. We gave our advice, but it was ignored. From there, I began to suspect that certain individuals were behind this because to me, that wasn't a valid reason that Kano North had too many political officers. The former minister remarked that Ganawa, as the party leader in Kano Central, should be considered for the ministerial position, that if the slot is indeed meant for Kano Central, we have a 2023 governorship candidate who is also a leader in Kano Central. Why not consider giving him the position? Ganawa should be offered the role first, unless he declines, in which case he'll be given to someone else. All other candidates from Plateau and Zamfara State who contested for the governorship were appointed to position, he added. Now that confirms it, right? When Nigerians say these positions are compensation for political actors within the party for their role either in the success of the election or loyalty of some sort, this kind of confirms what it is. That it's not about having the right people to handle this position, but the right people politically who needed to be compensated with certain position. And at the end of the day, you ask, what does it do for the ministry? And what does it do for the country if people are given position just based on political reasons? I guess this one story that sort of confirms that notion you've held for a long time. We'll take a quick break for the news and we'll get more feedback from you after the break. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info.
This is Hard Facts.
Hard Facts.
Hard Facts.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.